This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello everyone, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight after Rangers drew 2-2 with Dundee United at Tannadice this evening. And I'll be honest, I was coming on here with a rant ready to go, and I think I'm still going to deliver it, even though Rangers did get an equaliser from the penalty spot with 8 seconds of the match remaining. This is a team, as we know, that's badly lacking quality. It can't defend, as it proved tonight, and it can't score goals even from a yard out. I honestly don't think it's an exaggeration to say that front three, the three players that we have, is the weakest in my lifetime, really, genuinely, and I include the lower leagues in that, because they just are a big bunch of zero. And I thought that, you know, in any other night, Rangers should have comfortably won that, or rather any other squad, Rangers should have comfortably won that match. United started well, and they were exploiting a huge gap on our left-hand side of our defence between Jayden Magoma and Fernandes, and Manny Fernandes, who looked not bad in the early games, but of course young players, the form does go up and down. He's not that young, I suppose, but terrible defending for the first goal. Just allows Sapsford to run away from him, doesn't put in a challenge, doesn't do anything. Nice finish from Sapsford, to be fair, although maybe Jack Butland went down a wee bit too early. But after that, the Rangers were good for the next 20-25 minutes, reacted really well to it, started making chances. Miovski should have scored one, he missed one, a really good opportunity. Danilo, who appears to have decided that his new tactic for shots is to touch them with feather-like power, he missed a couple, but Rangers did get a goal back. The goalkeeper punched the ball out, it was up to Jayden Magoma, fully 30 yards out, and what a goal, a screamer, a goal the second it left his foot. Into the second half then, and this is the thing that will get missed, I think, that Rangers were dominant, had the ball, were actually keeping them away from our defence, and had opportunities. First of all, Danilo's hit the bar with an overhead kick, and then comes just an incredible miss, a superb ball in from Raskin that, first of all, Gassama should finish, and he doesn't. He hits the post. Then the keeper saves it, and then he turns it back to Danilo, who's on his heels, not looking lively, and the chance is lost. And of course, you knew after missing a glorious opportunity like that what would happen. United go forward for the first time in the second half, and people will say, rightly, that it's a superb goal from a United point of view, which it is. The guy beats 2 or 3 players on the edge of our box and puts a great shot into the bottom corner. But Rangers have got about 4 chances to clear this. There are guys just standing watching on the edge of the box as he saunters past them. It is that lack of application that we see from them time after time, and I'm sick of it. Rangers then chasing the game, still had some opportunities, but then Sir Yusuf Chermiti with an all-timer of a sitter. It's a cross, he's in the 6-yard box, centre of the goal, and misheaders it and puts it by the post. He's atrocious. And he's not the only striker. The other two are not very good either, but he in particular. And it is difficult when he does something like that to not go 8 million quid, but honestly, Kevin Thewell should be on trial for what he did with our money. It did look as though that would be it. And then in the dying seconds, Gassama does well to keep alive a ball that looks as though it's going to play, heads it back in. In comes Max Aarons to try and get on the end of it. Dundee United player goes for the ball, doesn't get it, gets him, it's a penalty. And I do have to say, and I don't really moan about this, about coverage, but Michael Stewart's bias against Rangers on the telly tonight was absolutely disgraceful. The guy just cannot call a Rangers game neutrally, and we're paying for this. Who do they think is watching this tonight, right? All the other teams are playing, all the other teams' fans are watching their own team. So it is Rangers fans that are watching this, and we don't want preferential treatment, but that was like Dundee United TV tonight. Credit to Nedum Bajrami. Tav was off the park, Bajrami stepped up, pressure kick, put it away, no bother. He had played well actually, but there's just this sense of frustration. And Danny Rule, I have a lot of sympathy for, as I've mentioned on here. If you watch these videos, I think that he has a pish squad to work with, right? But there are certain things now that he has to take responsibility for. One of the ones is, if you've got a defence that's that porous, you need to protect it a bit better than we do. And Gassama is not any use to us on the right wing. He's far better on the left. The manager spoke about players running out of opportunities, but then tonight You see guys that have been, Danilo in the number 10 where it never works. He doesn't give Cameron a go. Cameron could have brought something to the game today. And the Chermiti one is a huge case in point with that. Chermiti, he is not going to get you a goal. We know this now, right? We know this about him. He is really poor. Finlay Curtis might. He's already proved this season he can. Put him on. So sympathy, of course, for the dreadful playing squad that he has, but he's got to use it a bit better than that. So, 2 points completely squandered. And the draw doesn't make me feel particularly any better. But you're not going to get far in football if you can't keep Wayne's out of close at one end and at the other end you spurn chances the way that Rangers do. You're going to find yourself in trouble, and that's exactly what we did tonight. They're so bloody frustrating, this team. Actually, that's not true, because frustrating, I think, means that there's a point where you're like, they could be good, they could be bad, and that's not it. They're so irritating, this team, because they make the same mistakes, they do the same things, they lapse constantly. They're just not very good. It's just a really terrible squad of players that shouldn't be at Rangers. And come January, I hope we can ship as many of them out as possible and bring in new ones, because seriously, that lot, oh my God. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I know that was a cheery one, and we'll have more coverage of this over on Heart and Hand. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.